Welcome, everyone. We are live. What to do when I don't care anymore? What to do when you don't care anymore? Because I'm hearing this one a lot. I just decided I was going to let go and stop caring. And as soon as I did, things changed. Let's look at that. This morning, we're doing something a bit different. I'm freeing up a device. So I am live streaming onto Twitter instead of being on Twitter, if that makes sense. That's what I'm doing this morning. Live streaming onto Twitter instead of being on Twitter. So, this morning, let us begin, shall we? Let us begin. There we go. Ah, my melanin is here. Excellent.
Good morning.
Good morning, beautiful. Look at that. We're good to go. What to do when you catch yourself saying, I don't care anymore? You know what they tell you when you're in a relationship and you say to yourself, man, I don't care anymore. And people can tell that you've changed. You have assumed a different state of mind. We call it letting go, right? All you've done was change your polarity. You didn't like where you were and what you were doing. And you made a decision mentally. You know what? I'm done. I'm over here now. I'm doing this, and this is what I'm doing. And you notice how you don't look back? All you did was assume your new mental attitude. That's all we've done. Assumed our new mental attitude. This is why people say all the time, well, when I gave up, things unfolded from there. Things changed. Because things changed because the way or the state you were looking at it is. Listen to this statement that Neville used. He says, you cannot pray for riches when you are conscious of being poor. How can you change when you are conscious of being the thing that you don't want to be? What do you have to do before you start that thing? You've got to change your mind. You've got to change your mind, right? You see, we actually do this in real time, right? We do this in real time. When you are fed up with something and you just say, hey, say it. And just say, I'm done. You see that attitude? You literally changed yourself from one state which you deemed undesirable, and you put yourself right there and then into the new state of mind. You didn't tarry, you didn't linger. You know why? Because you were sick and tired of being sick and tired. Sometimes with us, we push ourselves to the point, um, we push ourselves to the point where we're just like, I can't, I'm done, right? We we get ourselves to that point. Do you know what you've done there? I'm just trying to show you that you are already changing from one state of mind to another, and that you do it rather quickly. But the reason you do it rather quickly is because you have built up so much momentum to say, enough. You actually had enough that you pushed yourself. There's something called the fulcrum. When you're on a seesaw or a teeter totter, you see the bar that goes up the middle that balances. You tipped the scales then, in other words. You moved it, you just had enough of something that you actually moved yourself from where you were to where you wanted to be. And the moment you did that, you changed what you were looking at. And you did it with such feeling. You weren't wishy washy about it. You didn't say, well, maybe, let me try it out. Nah, you just said, I'm done. And when you said, I'm done, you said, I'm starting over here. So you actually moved yourself with passion, is what you did. So, what I'm showing you this morning is that you do it all the time already because it is within your nature to do so. Just like my little Henrietta, little bit. I told you her leg is splayed, so the splint is there. But because the splint is there, it doesn't mean she does not perch. To perch, you know how you have a little parrot and they fly up on the little bar? Right. Even though that leg is a little funny, she will still perch, sometimes to the point of exhaustion. I've got to help her because she can't help herself. It's in her nature to perch, just like it's in our nature to persevere. It's in our nature to become what it is we say we want to be. That's why sometimes when you say, I'm just going to give up, you're not actually giving up. All you've done was put yourself in the direction of the thing you wanted to be in because it is in your nature to do so. You cannot help yourself. It is in your nature to succeed. It's in your nature to succeed, y'alls. Do you hear what I'm saying to you? It's in your nature to succeed. And because it is in your nature to succeed, this is why we linger, we tarry, we hold on. But there's a difference between perseverance, meaning you have pointed yourself in the direction you want to be in, instead of being conscious of your poverty while praying for riches. If you are praying for riches, then you are conscious of being rich. Let me say it to you again because it is the law of correspondence. If you are praying for riches, you must be conscious of being rich. Because then, as within, so without, as above, so below. But if what is within you is, oh my God, I don't have this, you are conscious of not having. So if you pray from a position of not having, you must remain not having. So, in order to pray from a position of having, you have to change your mindset from not having to having. Neville always says, every man awakens in their own time. What's that telling you? When you're ready to change your state, you'll change it. When you're tired of being tired, you'll change to strength. But you see, what we do as people is when I tell you that you are strong, you say to me, no, I'm not. I don't feel strong. You know why you don't feel strong? Because you actually think that you're not. Strength has nothing to do with how heavy that burden is you can carry. Let's not get this mixed up here. Strength has nothing to do with, oh, put one more brick on. Put one more brick on. I can do it, even though my knees are buckling. Put one more brick on. I am strong. Look at the ox in the field. It does not tell you that it is strong. It knows that it is. So it pulls. It knows its own strength. It knows what it is. It is not concerned with what it is not. Remember, when we see where we currently are and we complain, we are conscious of being the thing right there, right then, that we are complaining about. And do you notice we do not complain with, uh, you know, I'm just so tired of this. Oh no, we don't complain like that. Oh no, we put our whole back into it when we complain. We put our whole chest in it. We stand 10 toes. We say, oh my God, I'm so tired of this, with all the passion we can muster. See that? You are leaning in the direction of your complaint. How can you change when that's where you are? You're conscious of being it. So the first step is to acknowledge you're seeing the problem. You're seeing it. But the difference between acknowledging and living in the state of the problem, when you acknowledge the problem, all you're doing there is like, oh, you know what? I'm going over here. You're not ignoring or pretending, and you're not fighting against. You're simply acknowledging and saying, you know what? This will not do. Over here is where I belong. And you make the conscious mental switch. You don't make a mental switch and hope for. You make the mental switch because it is where you want to be. It is the state you want to be in. That's why you make the mental change after acknowledging where you're at. Remember, acknowledging does not mean that you are engaging with the problem. Oh, woe is me. No, you're not engaging with the problem. You're acknowledging that it is there. And then now, all your awareness now is upon your new state of mind, your new attitude. But we want to hold on to the old while trying to grasp the new. What does that scripture say? Those who have put their hand to the plow, if you look back, you're not fit. How can you hold on to the old while reaching for the new? You cannot serve two masters. Once you acknowledge the old, you must say, eh, it. That's what you say. And you throw your whole attention and your whole awareness into the new state of mind. But Angela, I've been doing the old for so long. How do I just let go? Hmm. You just let go by recognizing the law that tells you you do not have to suffer anymore. That's what you do. But again, we want to hold on to the old way because it is familiar. It is only familiar because we've spent that time practicing and perfecting it. That's the only reason why it is familiar. It's familiar, but it is not your nature. Two separate things. It is familiar because you taught yourself to be that way, in that frame of mind. But your actual nature is to succeed. Your actual nature is to expand. Your actual nature is abundance. That's why you, technically speaking, strive for greatness, because it is within you to do so. It is against our nature to languish. When I say languish, you know, to carry on with the same old life sucking behavior. That's not your nature. It is just something you learned to do. Your nature is the thing that just simply emerges because it is there naturally. Like how Henrietta, even though her leg is a little funny, she says, "Nope, I shall not be hindered from perching because I must perch." So she will not take no for an answer. And her focus is not, oh, no, her focus is, I'm flapping my wings as hard and as fast as I can for the momentum to reach for the perch. She has a singular focus. A singular focus, which is to perch. But you see, what we humans do, we want to perch while we languish. You cannot perch while. You must perch instead of. You must perch in spite of. How do you know when you've perched correctly? When you stop watching and waiting. Because you're so busy doing. You don't have time to watch and wait anymore because you're actually fully engaged in your new state of mind. That's what we do. Hmm? It is what we do, my beautiful friends. So if you have a situation this morning and you say, you know what, I have tried everything under the sun. Girl, I love you, but it ain't working. Oh, it's working beautifully. I am getting what we are absolutely conscious of being. The thing that has your full attention. The thing that has your full attention is what you will experience. It is law. That's why when people say, it doesn't work for me. Manifestation, this thing doesn't work for me. I keep getting the same old, same old. Because you are aware and conscious of the same old, same old. You have not changed your attitude. You have not changed your state. You are still planting corn. That's why you're reaping corn. You see, the law is always successful. So, how do you change your state? You change your state. You will recognize that you have changed your state when you stop looking and watching and waiting. When you are full, that brand new baby and you're just breastfeeding and they they get milk drunk and they have to sleep. Why do they let go? Because they're full. They're no longer hungry. They're no longer desperate. They're no longer seeking because they have found. But we look out into the world, into the what we call the 3D. And because we can't see the change that we have implemented, we say it's not working. The moment we say it's not working, we have gone back to what we were previously conscious of not having. When you go out to your back garden and you put the seeds in the ground, have you planted the seeds? Of course you have. You know that you have. So now, what should have your attention after you've planted those seeds, watering them, making sure there's no weeds. What it that seed, that garden now has your what? Your full attention. You're no longer focused on what you don't have, but you are now nurturing what you do have. So where's your mind? Where is it set upon? What are you nurturing? Are you nurturing your old way and saying, but alas, I don't have what I want, Lord? How can you? You will continue to reap what you are currently aware of having planted. So, to change your state of mind, you must recognize that one, I have changed from where I used to be to where I am now. Two, what is that feeling? Where is the feeling of confirmation that you have changed? Where's that peace? Because when you are at peace with something, you're not pacing and wringing of hands and gnashing of teeth. That's not what you are doing. You are doing what? Nurturing the new seeds of life that you have planted. They now have your full attention. You are so, as Neville said, you're so in love with your new way. It has consumed your mind fully. There's no room for anything else. You can't take one more bite because you're full. See how it is? So, this morning, what are you conscious of being this morning? First of all, you're conscious that your name is Coach. You're conscious of that. You're aware of that. Secondly, you are aware that Coach is in this room on fan base. Third, you could be conscious, Coach, of sipping your tea or your coffee, depending on how you flow. But you are aware. What are you doing, Coach?
Coffee.
See, there it is, right? So you see, one coach is aware of three things: what he is, where he is, and what he's doing. That's it. So, what are you aware of being right now? Oh, I am dot dot dot. What is that? You name it, because that's what you are aware of. The second thing is, well, does it feel good to your body?
Yeah. It calms my nerves knowing that the kids are the first thing up, so they make sure that dad, mom are up. Yeah.
Exactly. You see, that peace of mind is there. So now he can flow from that state of peace of mind. But what if now you're aware that you are and you're aware of what you're doing, and then you're aware of this angst and this thing that you don't want? That thing now has your full attention. Listen, you're in love with it because it's got your full attention. Good, bad, or indifferent. You are in love with the thing because it has your full attention. So now the question becomes, do you want that thing to have your full attention? Or do you want to put your attention somewhere else? Then you now put your attention upon the fact that, you know what? I am what? I want to be this. Well, now you have to become so enamored, so enthralled, so raptured by your new way of being. There's You cannot doubt your new way of being. There's nothing to doubt. You cannot rely a little bit, or Henrietta does not rely on the fact that her leg is a little bit off. She's relying on her wings because she knows a thing. She knows those wings work so she can get up. That's what she knows. She's not focused on the leg. I am focused on the leg though. But when you say, I am, you know what? I am jobless. That has your attention. Now, when you say, you know what? No, I am gainfully employed. Do you see the job yet? Nope. You don't. You don't see it yet. But did you plant the seed of being gainfully employed by claiming that that's what you are? You claim to be gainfully employed. And then what would it feel like if you were right here, right now, gainfully employed? What's your body feel like? What's your body say when you are gainfully employed? Because it must correspond. The claim that you make and the sensation in your body, by way of the law of correspondence, as above, so below, must match. So when you say, I am gainfully employed, what does that feel like to your body? You're like, nope, I'm not, because I can't see it. I still haven't gotten up and gotten on the train or driven to my new job. So I'm not gainfully employed. So now you see, you can't say that you are, because you are aware of not being gainfully employed. So when you claim I am gainfully employed, you start to feel the feeling of actually being gainfully employed. What would that feel like? Ooh, peace of mind. Girl, because these bills don't pay themselves. I am sure glad this job is everything I wanted it to be. Right? That feeling, what you're doing in changing your state, you have abandoned the old. You're no longer looking back of, but I'm not. My phone hasn't rang. My bank account is still the same. Where's your attention? Where are you focused? On what you don't want. You are nurturing the old. But when you claim that you are gainfully employed, your mental attitude has to change to match your claim. Because you see, the body wants to comply. Mind over matter. Without mind telling matter what to shape itself into, matter remains the same. So your mind has to change first before your external can change. So when you say, I am gainfully employed, now you throw your full attention on what it feels like to be gainfully employed. Peace of mind. Oh, you love your job. Your boss is awesome. Perhaps you are an entrepreneur. You've got clients coming up the wazoo. You can't even keep your schedule. You're so, listen, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. What would that feel like? That is where you engage yourself. That's where you engage yourself. When you say, I am done with being not gainfully employed, so I will throw myself completely into being gainfully employed. When you're fed up with the old, you'll let it go. But why do you have to get to being fed up? Because we're stubborn. As humans, we're stubborn sometimes. Some of us are more stubborn than others. That's what it is. You feel as though all of the work you're throwing into this facade, this image, is getting it done. When in actuality, if you get your mind in the right direction, then you put your mind in the right direction of being gainfully employed and feeling yourself to be gainfully employed, you don't have a choice but to become gainfully employed. Why? Because your mind says, I am, and it has accepted itself as being gainfully employed. But we're looking around for the job. You can't look around for what you already have. You are already full. The appetite is suppressed once you are full. Leptin, ghrelin, they work in harmony. So today, what are you done with being? You're done with being it? All right. So what are you now? Be that. I am that. I am. Get that new direction because you're polarized now in who you say you are. And because you're polarized in that direction, you can only see what it is you claim to be. That's why Neville says you can't pray for riches when you are keenly aware that you're broke. But that's what we do, isn't it? Lord Jesus, I need some money. I need some money now, Lord. Mm-hmm. You're not begging, you're not asking, you're creating. So, in order to create money, you need the blueprint. That sounds strangely familiar, like counterfeiting money. You need the blueprint. You need the blueprint. What's the blueprint? Your mind. So that means you have to claim, I am rich. Because when you claim and you accept your wealth, you have to express it. So you see, the work to be done is mental. Moving yourself mentally from what you say you used to be to who you now claim to be. Right? There's a new thing there. When you claim to be wealthy and you say, "Oh, well, I am," and your body says, "Yes, yes, we are," you are in correspondence. But if you say, "You know what, I'm broke, but I want to be," but you don't change your mind to claim, listen, the money is sitting there and you just have to claim it. You have the ticket to claim it. You notice how the valet does not give you the car that doesn't match the ticket? You can't go up there with a Toyota Tercel ticket and tell him, "Yeah, I'm picking up the Porsche." Wait, what? Your ticket says otherwise. He can only give you the car that matches the ticket. So you got to get the right ticket in your mind. Notice, when you have the right ticket, you don't walk up to him and go, "Ah, you got my car?" Nah, you give the ticket. With what? The knowing that he can only bring you back one thing, and that is the thing that matches the ticket you gave him. So you get back what it is you're holding. Whatever ticket you're holding in your mind, you get that back as way of your experience. Mind you, there's nothing wrong with a Toyota Tercel, man. They go on, don't they? But what I'm saying to you today is, when you said, "I have had enough, I am done," that is the declaration you have made. I'm done. But the law of vibration tells you, well, you can't stop. So what are you instead? And the same energy and fervor and passion you had, throw that into your new self. It is your momentum. The energy, you can't destroy it, but you move it and shift it to where you want it to be. Gainfully employed, picking up my ride from the valet. But you know what we do? We have our Toyota Tercel ticket, and we're going to argue with the valet that it should be a Porsche. "You're giving me the wrong car." And the valet says, "No, I'm giving you the car that matches the ticket you gave me." Well, what's the valet? Your world, the universe that you are creating. It cannot give you. Here's the thing, when we say sometimes, "Oh, the universe gave me this." The universe can only recreate what you claim yourself to be. So if you utter the words, "The universe is punishing me," it's not punishing you. It's only giving you what you are saying that you are, what you are projecting that you are. You are projecting the Toyota Tercel ticket, but arguing that it should be a Porsche. How can it give you? How can the valet give you what you have not given it? So the same boldness is required in both situations, because that's the part that doesn't change. We boldly hand over that Tercel ticket. Well, then boldly hand over the Porsche. You have to claim your Porsche. You have to claim it by saying, I am that. I'm that. I am. It comes with a sensation in your body that matches. So that when you recognize how you'll know that you're in that state is when you have accepted it. And you now are no longer wanting it or hoping for it or wishing for it or pleading for it. You cannot beg and plead for what you already have. So that's why the thing you claim to be, here's the grace of the law for those who understand it. When you have the claim in your mind, the law of correspondence is going to show you right away inside your body if the claim in the mind matches. Because you can't be made a liar of. You're always being called towards honesty. So if the claim that you make in your mind mentally creates anxiety in your body, then you are still saying, I am the old way. How do you know? Because your body is telling you that. It is the corresponding feeling. That's how you know what's going on in your mind, because the body corresponds. So when you say, I am that, I am, your body says, yes. Well, yes, you are. Why? Because it will be accompanied by what? The feeling of acceptance, the feeling of relief, the feeling of satisfaction. That's how you know you have changed your mind mentally. You have changed your claim. You no longer identify yourself. How do you know you're not identifying yourself with the old way? Because the body does not feel the same old way anymore. It feels different. That is always going to be the evidence of your change. It has to be. It is law. As within, so without, as above, so below. It is how you know you have reaped what you have sown. So that's why, if the body doesn't correspond, however the body feels, that's the true way, and that's the thing you will encounter. Because it is who you claim to be. So you cannot be made a liar of. That's what I mean by the grace of the law. It shows you at every single opportunity what you are claiming yourself to be. Every single time that you turn around, your body is showing you who you say you are. And the funny thing is this, your body will show you who you say you are before the thing unfolds out there, so that you can check it before you have to experience it. So if the thing in your mind, your claim, and your body says, no, no, this is what you actually claim you are. Because you get the angst and the, oh, I don't know. You get that panic, that, ooh, not so good feeling. That right there is telling you you are persisting in this behavior. And if you persist in this behavior, you have no option but to experience it. So you now get the opportunity to intercede on your own behalf when you observe what your body says. When your body says, ooh, this feels nice, I am that. Ooh, this is great. You know, Patti LaBelle, she's got a new hat and new shoes. She's got a new attitude. And her body says, yeah. Well, see, based upon your body sensation, now you can predict what the physical experience will be. Because the physical experience has to match your body sensation. I trust that this is making sense for you this morning. Let us take a moment, shall we, to welcome everyone into the space. Twitter, I can't see who's here because I'm live streaming on Twitter. I'm not in a Twitter space. So I can't see you, but I know because I always say, hello, Jeff. Hello, C Staff. Hey, Lilith. Because those are the ones I'm used to saying the most. And Tiffany. So I'm going to presume. See what I know? I know who's there all the time. I know who's there all the time. So I can say that. But I can't see them, but I know they're there. Let's see who's here in Facebook. So Indy and YouTube, we've got, hey, Synovia, darling. Fancy that, because I said your name yesterday, I'm sure. I think I did. K Chanel, I see you. Oh, let me say it. Artorias, I see you. Sugar Visions, Goddess Pure Diamond Shea Butter. Anot, Cyber is here, the better man. Asanya, I see you. And Joaquin. Y'all have beautiful names, so I just love saying them. I see you all here on YouTube. It is good to see you. Fanbase, hey. Who's here this morning? We got Vonnie, we got Ross, we got KZ, Summer Rose, Miss McQueen, Coach Flo Smiles, my Melanin, Zola. I see you. I see you. And I am so pleased that you're here. And for the others who've not made themselves known in that YouTube chat, I see you too. I see y'all's. So let me remind you again what intercessory prayer actually is. Because you know, when you go to church, they say the intercessor stands in the gap. Well, the thing you claim to be. Neville has a statement. He says, when you are conscious of poverty, you see the evidence of it. Because you're conscious of it, you're aware of it. The mindset or claim of poverty has a sensation in the body. Worry. What you worrying about? When and how you gonna pay your bills? When you gonna eat? Can you feed your kids? Those things. And they have a sensation in your body. So to stand in the gap now as an intercessor, you're conscious of being what you are. And your body confirms the sensation. It confirms that claim with the sensation. But before that sensation becomes a physical experience, you have the opportunity to say, I don't like this feeling in my body. And not only do you have the ability to say, I don't like this feeling in my body, you now get to decide right there and then, what feeling do I want in my body instead? Now you answer that question. What feeling do you want in your body? And you begin to make your body feel calm. You begin to make your body feel relaxed and at ease. Why? Because when you say, I am wealthy, wealth is accompanied by a particular physical sensation. They don't worry about nothing. They got more money than they know what to do with. They make wise investments for the most part, right? There's a feeling of ease and peace of mind in that body. So, this is why the law of causation is helpful. If you don't know what you want, but you know what you want to feel like, you get the feeling or the sensation in your body. How you get it? You got to bring it up. You got to make your body feel it. Because in order to make your body feel something, you have to claim it in your mind mentally. It happens simultaneously, cause and effect. You know the effect, that feeling in your body, it will bring about the claim or the cause. That's what it does. So you see, Neville calls it the law of reversibility. Every cause has its effect, and every effect its cause. So if you don't know what exactly you want to claim yourself to be, you do know how you want to feel. So begin to practice that feeling in your body. You see, the feeling in your body is like you changing your clothes to match the mirror, the look you want to go for. So you can claim, ooh, I look good today. I trust this is making sense for you. So if you don't know what it is you want to claim yourself to be, you know how you want to feel. And then you begin to let your body feel like it because you're going to. Every state is accompanied by a mood. That's what Neville says. Every state, I am wealthy, I am healthy, I am wise, is accompanied by a sensation in your body. But remember this, it goes in both directions. If you bring that sensation of satisfaction in your body and you sit there with it and you feel it and you feel it and you feel it, can you feel it? Can you feel it? Well, then, once you persist in that feeling in your body, you can predict the experience you are going to have. Because the experience you are going to have must match or correspond with the sensation in your body, which does what? Matches the claim that you now mentally have of yourself. That's what you're doing. That is exactly what you're doing. That's why when Neville Goddard says to you, feeling is the secret, it has to do with how you feel inside your body. You are actually living out the law of correspondence. Mentally, what you claim to be shows up in your body because you got a body. You think the body is just there to look nice or to not look nice? Dr. Bruce Lipton tells you your body is a transmitter of what? Information. It's a feedback mechanism. It is always telling you. It's always telling you what you claim yourself to be. How else will you know if you don't see it? That's why if we cultivate that feeling, that sensation in your body, and the only way to cultivate that sensation is to know it. What? Yes, you know the thing in your mind. You know the claim. And you're like, I am that. And you're like, ooh, that feels nice. And you bring up the sensation because it's not a sensation of, remember, Neville says, it's not feeling as in an emotion. It's not feeling as in an emotion. It's feeling as in knowing. Let me put it this way. When you are out there in those streets and you're living, and you know something, right? You act according to what you know. If you encounter something that makes you angry, how do you know it makes you angry? Because you already have a preconceived notion of what makes you angry. You already know something that's going to make you angry. So the anger is just there showing you what you know. You know, when you tell your kids to pick up their mess and they know, and you know they should know better, but you still got to keep saying the same thing over and over again, and you're mad. You're not mad because you can be. You're mad because you know, you are aware this child ain't never going to do what I tell it to do. That's why you're mad. Because you know you're going to come in the door and always have to argue. You know that because that is what you are conscious of being. So you argue. But here's something. I bet you, as you were driving home or walking home, you were saying to yourself, you know, I better not see a mess when I get in there. Let me tell you something. If that child don't do what I say, oh, I'm gonna have to choke this child. Oh, I'm gonna shake this. Oh, don't choke or shake your children, please. Don't. But you know what you do when you argue, and when you put your hand on the door, what have you primed yourself for? What were you aware of that you gonna have to argue with your child? So you knew that because you've done it so many times before. So you know it now. See, you are conscious. You are aware of, when I get home, I'm going to have to argue. So the body is going to respond how? The breathing becomes more shallow because you're ready for a fight now. So your body is simply responding to the stimulus of your claim. But what if you tell yourself, look, man, when I get home, right? How do I want to be when I get home? I just want to walk in the door and hang up my keys and my coat and put my hat down, my bag down, and be like, ah, it's so nice. I just want to feel peace, you know? And what happens to you? You're walking home and you're getting more peaceful because you say, yeah, that's it. That's how I want to feel. That's how I want to feel. And the only focus, the only thing that has your attention is, yeah, you see how calm I am walking here? You're not speed walking to get home. You're taking your time. You're enjoying the sun and the tweet tweet of the birds outside. Or the idiot on his Harley Davidson. Brrr, right. Either way, you're taking your time. And you get home and you open the door and you clutch your pearls in surprise. Because it's not a mess. Why is it not a mess? Because you did not spend your time priming yourself to encounter a mess. You primed yourself with what? What you wanted to experience. How? By telling your body, look, this is how we're going to feel. Like this. See? See this nice and deep inhale? Yeah, you see that? Whoo, slow exhale. You see that peacefulness we feel? You see that ease and relaxation? Yeah, more of this. This is what I want to feel. And you were so caught up in that, child, you didn't even know you made it to the front door till you put your key in there. And then you want to act surprised. The house is tidy. You cleaned up your mess. And the child says, yeah, I just felt like it. They didn't just feel like it, they were compelled to do it because you changed you and your state of mind so that your physical expression could match or correspond your mental impression. And you see, the body is the intercessor, the go between. I trust that makes sense for you this morning. I trust that it does. So you see, my beautiful friends, today, you do have what it takes to change who you claim yourself to be. You have it within you. Of course you do. How are you going to do it? What do you want your body to feel like? Satisfaction, accomplishment. Start nurturing that sensation in your physical body, because your physical body is going to predict for you what you must physically experience. So you don't cultivate nurturing that thing in your mind that says, huh, it's never going to change. What are you doing? Your body is responding to that. It is corresponding to that and telling you. But we want to ignore our bodies. You cannot ignore it. You are in it. You got to bathe it, feed it. You're in it. You are in it. But here's that beautiful scripture. Greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. Whatever does that mean? It means the thing that is claiming that it is wealthy instead of being poor, that is greater. The one at the pedal shaping the clay is greater than the clay or the vase that the clay can become. Because without the hands molding and shaping the clay, it does not become. So the hands, which are you, are always going to be greater than the clay. The clay has to bend and mold to follow you. That's why you are greater than the clay. Because the clay can only remain a lump of clay until you claim it to be what you want it to be, so that it takes the shape of it. That is why greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. So the clay is what? That wet, damp clay is sticky. What is that? Your life. So who's molding and shaping your life? You, by claiming, I am a vase. So what shape must that clay take? Vase. It can't become a bowl. You didn't tell it to be a bowl. So you are the one, by way of what you proclaim yourself to be. I am. Remember, you used to watch He-Man and She-Ra, and he would pull the sword out of the sheath and he'd go, I have the power. Right? That's what he would say. That's what he would say. That is his proclamation. He would proclaim himself to be. So you have to proclaim yourself to be. But notice, it will not be an idle claim. When you claim yourself to be something, your body will correspond and tell you lies you tell, or it'll say, girl, we got this. Yes, we are. That's exactly what's going to happen when you make the claim. Remember, when you make the claim of I am gainfully employed. Yes. Right? Even though you might feel, I don't have a job right now. But if you make the claim that says, I am gainfully employed, and your body says, no, we're not. What do you do there? That's right where you stop yourself and you say, okay, wait. All right. I understand that I'm still identifying with being unemployed. Now, what is the identity of gainfully employed? You get that feeling. That is peace of mind. That is confidence. Why? Because you love your job. You enjoy getting up and going and doing it and meeting the people that you meet every single day. That feels. You know how that feels because you used to have a job. Whether you did not like that job is not the question. What matters now is you know what having a job feels like. You know. So begin to get that feeling and cultivate it in your body. Because when you cultivate it inside your body, now your body is mirroring to you what you claim yourself to be as gainfully employed. And so long as the claim and the body match, well, then so too must the physical experience. because they have to. It is called correspondence. It is called reaping what you have sown. You sowed the claim of gainfully employed, and your body said yes, because this is what gainfully employed feels like, and you persist in that feeling. Every day, your attention is no longer on, I'm not. That's not where your attention is. Your attention is fully captivated by your new way of being, which is gainfully employed. And so long as Neville Goddard says, an assumption, though false, if persisted in, if persisted in, will harden into fact. That's why you can say things like, I don't care anymore. Because now you have recognized the claim you're making, and you are changing the sensation in your body to match the claim because you're doing it naturally anyway. It is your nature to do it. That's why you don't struggle against, you go with, because it is the nature of your being to go with. But when you fight and say, oh, I want to maintain what I am already, the status quo. And notice how we don't say that, right? We don't actually say it out loud. We hold on to the status quo because we're scared. But today, the law is telling you, what have you to fear? Absolutely nothing, because you are the master shaping and molding your world. And what does a master do? A master is bold. A master is confident. A master is sure of themselves. Why? Because they claim themselves to be. And they've done it. And they continue to do it. So nothing can shake you. Nothing can shake you in your conviction. So, my beautiful friends, I trust these things made sense today, because you know I shall not keep you any longer. The link to the Telegram chat is above. I don't know if Yamila is still here, but girl, thank you for walking me through that.
Welcome, my love. You're welcome. You're very welcome.
I am so at peace with that, let me tell you, because I can just do it now with my eyes shut. Hey, right? Oh, I love it. Thank you. Today at noon is coaching, group coaching. If you want to be a part of that, A, it is 500 hearts. B, it's at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. C, slide into my DMs and submit your question so that I can ping you into the private room, because it is not a public room, it is private. And the question that I receive from you, I answer it step by step. I don't call your name to say, oh, and this person submitted this question. No, I just simply answer the question by way of law so that you can go out and do it. That's it. That's at noon today. And then tonight, 10:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we continue with chapter 18 from Neville Goddard's book, Your Faith is Your Fortune. Oh, it's a bedtime narration so that we can do what? Fall asleep in the state of the wish fulfilled. What does that mean? Fall asleep in that body sensation of accomplishment, of acceptance. That's what we do at night when we read together. We fall asleep in that sensation. Why? Because when you fall asleep in that sensation, when you wake up in that sensation. And if you persist in that sensation, what are you guaranteed? The physical expression that matches. Anywho, let's get the boils. Oh, spiritual treasures. Hello. Hello, Marjorie. I'm seeing you all. Let me sit up so I can get you all the bowl. My melanin. Hello, Domino. Eureka? Is that how I say it? You are new to the space. Welcome.
Yes, 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 yes. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy that I wandered in here and you spoke to me.
Okay. Y'all, did you hear what she said? She wandered in here. Let me tell you something. You've been looking. Because if you wasn't looking, you wouldn't have found. Just so we're aware. It is law. It is law.
Okay.
But of course, there aren't any coincidences. You didn't just wander in here. No.
You're right.
Mm-hmm.
And then the room that I was in before this, complete opposite energy. So I had to leave, and then this is where I ended up. And it just filled me back up and then overflowed me, okay? All right. Woo, girl. I loved it. All of it. Everything that you were saying, okay?
And this is the beauty of the law at work. So now, let us, as we listen to the bowl, become doers of the word instead of simply hearing. Let us become doers. Whew, let me get the bowl. Because I'm fired up. Countdown initiated. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Oh, I love you all. Thank you for being here on such a lovely morning. It truly is always a privilege to spend time with you. Thank you very much. I love you, and I will see you tonight, 10:45 p.m. for bedtime narrations.